Again, those are the challenges facing Bill O'Brien. He proved his mettle, though, last year. Won a number of National Coach of the Year awards, as Howard said, including the Bear Bryant and the Maxwell Football Club. Had the most wins ever for a first-year Penn State head coach. Of course, they haven't had many. He was the first in nearly half a century. Got much better offensively, scoring up nearly 10 points per game when compared to 2011. And we are joined now by Penn State coach Bill O'Brien. Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us. When we were here last year, the challenges were very clear for you. I mean, in essence, you were trying to hold this program together. You got through that. You got through it with flying colors. What are the challenges now in year two?
Well, the challenges now are to break in a new quarterback and make sure that whoever the starting quarterback is ready to go for that first game. And then the challenge is to just basically, take off from where we left off last year and hit the ground running. And I think we've done that so far in training camp. Obviously, the defense is a little bit ahead of the offense right now, but the guys are working hard. We got a great group of guys, and looking forward to the season.
One of the challenges that continues is the numbers. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
How different are the numbers this year as opposed to last year?
Yeah, well, there are less numbers this year, Coach. There's basically 66 scholarship players out here on the field, so we brought in a number of non-scholarship guys. Hopefully, some of those guys can help us on special teams. Can they run down on a kickoff? Can they help us on the punt return, the kickoff return? But then, as far as offense and defense goes, we've just got to do a great job of how we practice. We won't tackle live too often, and we've got to try to get our guys as healthy as possible when the games start.
There's a lot of talk about in the second year you see growth, whether it's at a single position or multiple positions. So in your case, from the head coach, when you look at the organization and your team, where do you see that growth?
Well, I see a lot of growth at a lot of positions. And I also see a lot of growth with the staff. I think our staff is working better together this year than we did last year, just from having a year under our belt. I think on defense, I think the whole defense is a lot more ahead of where they were last year. I think those guys are 1 year in the system, and John Butler's done a great job with that staff of keeping that going, and we've got some good veteran players over there. Offensively, the skill guys in the offensive line, they know what to do. And so really it comes down to myself and Coach Fisher doing a good job of making sure that we get these young quarterbacks ready to go and knowing that they have a good surrounding cast, just making sure that we go into the games with a good game plan and doing what's right by them.
So, Coach, based on spring and short camp so far, what are the strongest position groups on the team?
I tell you, on offense, I really think our offensive line is pretty strong. I know out there today we struggled a little bit, but I also think our defensive line is strong. So I think those are two strong points of our team, which is good. I think that's really good in this conference when both lines are strong. I think our receiver position is strong. I think having Allen Robinson back is a big thing. I think our tight end position is strong. I think there's four guys there that can play football and go up and catch the ball, and they block pretty well. We have better depth in the secondary. We're bigger. I think we're in better condition than we were last year, and we have more guys back there. So I think that position overall is stronger.
What are some of the goals coming into this camp that you want to see from a team standpoint?
Right. Well, I want to see great team chemistry formed, and I think it's already been formed in the offseason, but I really think training camp is where you build a real solid foundation of leadership with good locker room chemistry, and I believe this team has that. And I want to see these guys execute the offense and the defense basically better than we are right now. I think we've got a long way to go there, especially offensively. We've got to start executing better, knowing our plays better, because we've got a lot of guys here that know what to do, and so we got to go out there and do it better. So I think if we can get down the execution and keep the chemistry going, we'll have a chance to be a decent football team.
Now, Coach, you couldn't possibly think we were going to let you out of here without asking about the quarterbacks, right? Give us a sense of where you are with that race.
Sure. Well, it's two guys, and Tyler Ferguson and Christian Hackenberg. I'd say Tyler's a little bit ahead right now because he has better knowledge of the offense. He's been here since January, and he's come in this summer and obviously studied over the offseason on his own, and he's come in and picked up pretty well right here. Christian has come in the first four practices, and for a true freshman has done a really good job. I mean, he's got pretty good command out there. He calls the play clearly. He's thrown the ball fairly accurately. Of course, he's a freshman, so he's made some typical freshman decisions, but we'll try to clean those up. But I'd say right now, Fergie's a little bit ahead, and we'll just keep letting it play out as the practices go along.
At what point do you want to have a guy firmly entrenched as number one?
You'd like to have a guy, Dave, at least 2 weeks before the season starts, but, you got to let it play out. You got to do what's best for your team. So if you need another few practices after 14 or 15 practices, then that's what you have to do. But you'd like to have a guy with at least, 15 to 20 practices under his belt as the starter before the Syracuse game.
Penn State head coach Bill O'Brien. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, guys.